Use of the underscore says that variable should be treated whether it is a private or it is a protected. How many times I want to repeat the same string, I want to print the same string, that also we can use a star here. We can define a method within the class, and that method can be used for the different purposes or in different scenarios. That is called as method overloading. Welcome to one more session on Python programming for 4th semester B.Ca student. We'll continue the discussion on object-oriented concepts using Python. Myself, Indu J, Faculty of Computer Science Department, Vidhyaashram First Aid College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In this session, what we are going to explain or what we are going to discuss is two more important concepts of object-oriented programming, that is encapsulation and polymorphism. In previous sessions, we have already discussed what is class, what is object, what is inheritance, how many types of inheritance are there. So, continuing the discussion on the object-oriented concept, we'll discuss encapsulation and polymorphism. What do you mean by encapsulation? As a name, it says we are capsulating the data together. We are putting the data together. That is called as encapsulation. How we can achieve this encapsulation? We are achieving this encapsulation by data hiding. What is the concept? We call it as data hiding. Hiding a data which is not necessary for the implementation. Only giving those information which is necessary. You can take a real life example. If you want to come to the college, you don't search how many buses are there. Right, only you search the required information, which bus will travel to the route where you're supposed to reach. Only that information is giving which is required at that point in time. That is nothing but data hiding. Data will be present, but all the information is not given during the implementation time. That is a data hiding. We are achieving the encapsulation by using data hiding. Let us go with the formal definition for the encapsulation. The concept that involves hiding the internal state and implementation detail of the object. What exactly we are doing? We are hiding the implementation detail of the object. In that particular object, which data is private, which data is protected, everything is hidden. Some data which is public, that only is given with the access. It provides the controlled access through which the methods, means it provides the access control. Access is not free. You cannot freely access all the methods and the attributes of that particular class, right? So access is restricted. Only the particular methods in the class is allowed to access. So that we can achieve the encapsulation by using the private instance. So we have already know there are three types of access specifiers in object oriented. One is public, private and protected. These are all three access specifiers what we have in object-oriented concept. What do you mean by public? Which the variables and the method which has been declared as a public is allowed to access out of the class, right? Which is a private and public. Private and protected means data is not allowed to access. We have a restriction on accessing a data. That particular variable or the method that belongs to only one class. The object of that class cannot directly access those variables or attributes and then the methods. So that falls under private and then the protected. So here what we are saying, encapsulation, when we can declare the variable as a private and protected. As we are declaring the variable, like for example, name is a variable. If I take, right, it is not suffixing by anything. It's not suffixing by anything. So it is a public variable. If the age, one more variable age is suffixes with the single underscore. what? Single underscore, then it is called as protected. Okay, then that data will be treated as a protected data. If it is suffixed with the double underscore like ID, like, then it is assumed that it is a private data. It is a private data. That's what is the variables that are intended to be accessed only within the class itself and not from the outside of the class. What is a private instant? We allow to access only within the class, not allow to access out of the class. There are typically denoted by prefixing an underscore on their name. If a single underscore prefixed, it is protected data. If double underscore prefixed, it is a private data. And Python does not enforce a strict data hiding or data restrictions. As in Java and .NET, we have a strict data hiding. Python does not have that much of strict data hiding. We can able to access these protected and private data in other ways. We cannot directly access, but we can access in other ways. So that's what it meant. Use of the underscore indicate that the variable should be treated as private or protected. Use of the underscore says that variable should be treated whether it is a private or it is a protected. Should not be accessed directly from outside the class. That variable particularly belongs to that class. We cannot access outside the class directly. Okay, that is what about the private and protected instance. Let us see the example. Let us understand how it can be done using an example. We have created one class called employee. What is the name of the class? Employee. In that we are calling what? We are calling the constructor, right? Calling the constructor. How many parameters constructor have? Name and then the ID. We can access a name by self.name, which is a public type, public variable, because we are not suffixing anything with the underscore. So it is a public variable. Here we have a suffix under single underscore. That means which is a protected data or protected variable. Like I can access a name directly by using the object of the class, but I cannot access this by directly using the object of the class. So one more, we have a method in that particular class employee, that is a display method. What type of the method it is? It is also a public method. It is a public method, right? Fine. In that what we have the statement given? Statement given, name is self.name. Whatever the name given as in a parameter, it will read, and my ID is whatever the value given for the ID as a parameter, that will read that ID. We are accessing self.id but not directly with the help of public method, right? We are accessing the self.id, which is a protected data, though we can access using the public method. Okay, here what we are creating? We are creating one object of the class employee. What is object? Object.id is equal to 10. This cannot be accessed. It gives you an error. Object.name will give you a name of the particular person. When we are creating the object, I am supposed to enter the value, that is, let us see, A, B, C is an object and 001 is an ID, right? So what it will print? It will print A, B, C, right? Then if I want to access self.id obj.display, I have to call the method obj.display. Whenever we call this method obj.display, what happens? It will print my name is, it will print name is, what? Name is, what is the name we have given? ABC, ABC, and my ID is, what is ID we have given? 001. So it can be accessed, right? And we are creating the one more class called student. In the student, one more example. In the class student, we have declared the protected, public, protected and private. Most of the time we don't use a protected variables or protected data because it's as good as having the public data, because we can access easily. So that's why either we go for the public or we go for the private data hiding. So here also what we are doing, we are declaring this method as a private method. Right, we are declaring the method as private. We are declaring the variables as public, protected and private, and the method as private method. And what we are printing, name is so and so and ID is so and so. We are gonna print. So one more function or the method is there, which is a public. Yes, one more method which is a public. I can access this private method using this public method. Okay, I can access what? This private method using this public method with the help of object. Right, that is what we are saying. Python does not provide a strict data hiding or the restriction on accessing the data. We can able to access the data which is a private using the public method. That's what we are doing, what we are defining in this self.display method, which is a private method here. So we can access this particular all the variables and the method which has been declared as a private instance using the public method. So what we are doing here, example, one more example, we have a student and we are creating the one more class called as branch. The students belongs to which branch exactly? Here we have its own method, which is again a public method. It is printing my roll number is so and so. What roll number is accessed by where? Roll number is accessed by the parent class again, which is a parent class. Student is a parent class, which is a type protected data. Now I am creating one object that belongs to the branch. What I am giving is a parameter, name, ID and age. This is a name, ID and age, right? Giving as a parameter, which is a parameters of your base class, right? Then we are calling the function b1.show. When I call the public function, I am also allowed to access this protected and private data. Getting it? What the output will be? My roll number is what we have given, 001. Yes, my roll number is 001 will be displayed. You are accessing the protected data from using the public method. Then we are creating one object of the student class, which is a student class, that is my base class, right? In that, what I am trying to access, I am giving the value as name, ID and then the age. In that, I am trying to access s1 dot underscore student double underscore display. I want to display the content of display method. What is there? I want to execute the method display. In that case, we can use a name mangling. This particular statement is called as name mangling. Underscore student, which class it belongs to, that can display the whatever the printf statement is there in the display method, that will be printed. Or I can access the content of display method using the display private method, which has been defined in the base class or the parent class. This is one more method how we can access the private data using the public methods. Right. One more example what we have is we can access the private data using the get method and the set method. Get method and then the set method also we can access. There are three types where we can access the private data. One is by using the public method, and second one using the name mangling, and the third method by using the get data and set the data methods. This is what we are given as an example when we are dealing with the encapsulation, data hiding. Next, one more concept of object oriented is polymorphism. What is polymorphism? As name itself indicates, poly means what? Many. Right? All of you know this concept. What poly means? Poly means many. Morphism means forms. What? Forms. A single operator or a single method having more than one forms is called as polymorphism. Many forms. It may be an operator or it may be an method. So polymorphism is having a different forms, right? That's what we said, having a different forms. Polymorphism refers to the function having the same name but being used in the different way and at the different scenario. We are using the same function in different way in different scenario. That is called as polymorphism. It basically creates the structure that can use many forms of the object. It will create what? One base structure it will give that can be used to in different forms. Like this polymorphism may be accomplished in two ways. What is the two ways? One is by overloading and one is by overriding. So what is the difference between overloading and overriding? We'll see in the further slides. Overloading means overloading again comes with the two types. Here operator overloading and method overloading. Okay, operator overloading and method. We use operator overloading or method overloading with respect to the classes and the object. We use overriding with respect to the inheritance. Whenever we have a parent class or the child class, any type of inheritance, at that time we are going for overriding to achieve the polymorphism. So let us see what is operator overloading. Here you can say operator overloading is a kind of overloading in which the operator may be used in many ways. A single operator can be used in many ways other than stated in the predefined definition. What example here is? Example here is multiplication, that is star. We are taking one operator. Star is what? Operator. So star is a operator, right? Here what we are doing, we use that operator for multiplication. Basically, which is a predefined set, is a multiplication operation. We use a star operator. Apart from multiplication, it can be used to repeat the same string number of the times. How many times I want to repeat the same string, I want to print the same string, that also we can use a star here. Here 2 plus 2 into 7, what it will give? It gives the multiplication result when the operands are of type integer, right? What we are performing the multiplication operation on the integer, it will give you the product of the two integer. When we perform this operator as with the sets, here we are using the sets. A is on a single set or a string, right? Set or a string, what it will give? It will print this particular string 3 times. That is what the output is. A. Operator is same, but the operation that performing is different. So we are achieving the polymorphism. Or you can take an example of plus operator, right? Operator plus. Here A plus B will give you the result, right? Addition result will be give. If I do the same thing on the string A plus B, what it will give? It will concatenate both the string 1 and string 2. It will give the concatenated result. One where we are using or I can take it as 2 plus 3, that is 5. We are performing the addition operation and we are performing the concatenation operation with respect to the string. Operator is same, but the functionality it's doing is different at different scenario. Right? That is what the operator overloading. Then comes with the method overloading. What is the method overloading? We can define a method within the class, and that method can be used for the different purposes or in different scenarios. That is called as method overloading. In the method overloading, what exactly we are doing here? We are creating the two methods of the same name. Name of the method is same, that is addition. But what it is performing on? It is performing on addition of 2 integer or addition of 3 integer, performing on different fields, executing the different operations, right? So this is called as method overloading. In the class demo, we have defined the two methods of the same name, but the result of that method will be different. Here we are using for 2 integer, here we are using it for 3 integer, and we can use it for number of integer. How we are going to access that? By using the object of the class demo, print d dot add. What is the parameters we are giving? A and B values, that is 2 and 4. It will give the result as 6, and 6 plus 6, it is gives the results as 12, right? If I want to add n number of integer value, I can keep on adding def add self comma a comma b comma c comma d, so on, like this. How many integer value I want to add? I can give so many variable, but the method name is same. This is called as method overloading. Method having the same name but performing a different operations. In spite of writing this, Python provides you very simple way of doing the same, right? What we are doing here, we have created the class, same class as a demo. We are creating a method, same method as that of the previous example, that is add method. In spite of putting the restriction on the arguments, we are taking the flexible or dynamic argument here. Dynamic argument, you can increase the integer value, how many arguments you want, you can increase that. So we are defining one variable called total. Total will run how far? Total will run for from I into to the how many arguments are there, till that far will run, and it will compute the addition operation and returns the total value. When we have created the object of the class demo, we are overloading the add operation here. We are adding for 2 integer, adding for 3 integer, adding for 5 integer. We can add n number of integer. There we are providing the method overloading, so that we can achieve a polymorphism. This is about the method overloading. Coming into the overriding. What do you mean by overriding? I have told you, whenever we are using the inheritance concept, we are using the overriding. To achieve a overriding, we must have two classes. In inheritance, we have two classes, that is a base class and one is a derived class. It implemented in the inheritance concept. The same method can have a different definition in the parent class and in the child class. Method name is same, but whatever the statements we define within that particular method, that will differ to the parent class, to the child class. Name and the number of arguments what we are passing to that method is same. Where the method name is same, number of arguments also the same, but defined in two separate classes. The memory location of two particular method is very different, right? So that is what is overriding. Let us see a simple example for the overriding. In the overriding, we have taken the class animal. Okay, animals means we have a herbivorous animal, carnivorous animals, like that. So what is the basic functionality of animal? Basic functionality of animal is to eat and to walk, right? So we have defined two functions, eat and walk, right? With respect to the animal, which is a base class here, base class. And we have created one more class, which is a derived class. So in this also we have a same method, eat and walk, right? But what are the definition is here in the base class, that is in eat, it will eat flesh and grass. because it is a base class. I'm saying that eat is a method or the function of the animal which can eat. Some animals can eat flesh and some animals can eat grass also. And walk is a one more method or the function of the animal. It will walk all over, right? The definition of the function walk is walk all over with respect to the base class. Well, coming to the derived class, well, coming to the, we have a same method, eat and eat, both are same, right? Same method, but what we have defined here is not same. Here flesh and grass, here what I'm printing eat only flesh, because lion is a carnivorous animal, right? So that's why it eats only the flesh. And well, coming to the walk, both the function name is same and the parameters are also same, but function definition is different. Here it's walk all over, here it's walks in the jungle. Alright, what exactly we are trying to put here is method name is same, but the definition of that method in the parent class is different and in the child class is different. When I'm accessing particular eat and then the walk with respect to the object, what I have to do here? I have to call one super function saying that this eat can also be a method in the parent class and also in the child class. Whenever I create an object, I create an object, what is the object? Scar is equal to, it belongs to which? It belongs to the child class lion. Yes, I want to access the method of the parent class using the object of the child class. At that time, what I'm supposed to do? I have to give this particular variable super.eat. So it will access only the eat method. If I want to access what walk method also, have to give it as super.walk. So that will be the how we can access the parent method using the object of the derived class. So what we are doing, we are creating the object here of the class lion, scar.eat. Scar.eat means what? It will print the print statement of this child class eat, as well as it will print the base class eat method also. So what it's going to print? It's going to print eat flesh in grass, and also it's going to print eat flesh. Because why? We are using the super.eat. When scar.walk is there, what it will print? It will print only the child class method, that is walks in jungle. So this is what about the method overriding. Overriding means having the same name, method having the same name, but the definition of the method which is from the base class is different, and the definition for the same method in the derived class is different. If you want to access the base class method with the object of the derived class, then we have to use a super class, right? So this is all about the encapsulation and polymorphism. Thank you.